is the radius r of a sphere is given by the equation the radius equals this, where v is the volume of the sphere. Find the radius of the beach ball to the nearest foot, and we have to use 3.14 for pi. So looking at the picture, we are given what? The volume. What letter represents volume? V. Okay, so I'm going to write radius equals 3 times, what's the volume? 113 over 4, and what am I going to use for pi?
3.14.
Okay, and then all of that is raised to the 1/3 power. So you have to use PEMDAS, so I solve the parentheses first. So 3 times 113.
That's a big number. That's 339. Yep.
Okay.
What do I say?
You're not even using calculator.
Over 4 times 3.14.
12, and Levi is over
1256.
12.56.
Yeah.
And again, that's still raised to the third quantity. So now I solve my parentheses. So I take 339 divided by 12 and 5600ths.
26.99044.
It rounds up slightly. He already has the calculator.
That's what it says, Bryce.
26.
Okay, now before you do anything, like clear your calculator, because it's a decimal, it's a weird decimal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want you to click the caret,
Carrot.
and then click your 1/3, and then push enter.
Hold on, what?
2.999.
Mine gave me an answer carrot.
101.
Yes, because that answer means that it took your, so when you get A and S in your calculator,
Yeah.
that means the previous thing,
Previous calculation.
yep, and then it used it again.
Oh, it freaked me out because I just memory cleared it.
Oh.
And it was like answer, and then it gave me an answer, and I was like,
Okay, so did everybody get this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so then this, it says to round to the nearest foot. So I would write what? 3 feet.
See, I guess it was going to be about 3 feet because if that's a regular sized person, about that ball, they would.
That'd be a short person.
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
I am 5'4".
You would think.
Hey,
I was
hey,
like,
it's
how short do you think that
2.99964.
person is?
Okay.
Regular
We round
sized
it.
person.
It's still
Right.
not 3 foot. Well, but like,
999.
if that was me saying next to that ball, I would.
Okay, the last example I have for you. To calculate the annual inflation rate R in decimal form of an item that increases from the value from P to F for over a period of n years, you can use the equation R equals that, minus 1.
R equals that.
Find the annual inflation rate to the nearest 0.1% of a house that increases in value from 200,000 to 235,000 over 5 years. This is actually really helpful because once you buy a house, you want to increase your value of your house so that if you sell it,
Make a lot of money.
make money from what you bought it from. Or if you put repairs into your house, at least you come out evenly instead of losing money. Okay? So this is the formula we're going to use. And then you're going to subtract 1. Okay, so everything we're given is in here, but we are finding the rate, which is R. So, and remember, when we find a rate, it's a percentage. So at the end, we're going to have to change our decimal to a percentage. Okay? So it tells us that the value from P to F. So what was our initial value?
200,000.
200,000. So from P, so that's what we started with.
200,000.
And above is 2.
Over.
And F is,
That number. And then N is 5. There's 1/5.
because N represents years, so N is 5.
Let me say what I got.
And then I subtract 1. So when you take this divided by this, what do you get?
I got 1.175.
1.175. Does everybody agree with that?
Then you multiply it by, then you have an exponent.
So now we would do that exponent.
Hold on, let's look at it here.
It's 3%.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
he's not wrong.
Oh, I get it.
So take 1.175 raised to the 1/5 power.
Subtract it,
And minus
and then move the decimal over.
Uh,
Places, and then take off all the other nonsense.
0.03277 because I subtracted one already.
Yep, good job.
What did you get before you subtracted?
There was just a one on it.
0.03277.
0.3277.
It's good.
Okay. So then we subtract 1, and yes, we would get this.
Yeah, so about 3%.
So then to change it from a decimal to percent, I move it twice. So I do get about 3%.
That's how weird about.
So it looked bad, but wasn't really that bad.
No,
Okay.
it looks terrible.
That was a good question.
So for on your homework, you have to use, you have to write this in radical form. So if I was writing this in radical form, how would I write it?
8 radical 140.
So 140 goes on the inside, right?
Yeah.
And then the house.
And
The
then
radical.
8 on the left.
Yes.
And then 8 up here, right? Okay.
You don't need them.
You don't have to have
It's not
parentheses
one.
because it's not raised to a different power of the numerator. Okay, so to type this into your online system, you are gonna, the original keyboard that it gives you is called Basic. So when you click on Basic, you're gonna have to go down to the X, and then it'll give you some different options. So the option I would want is this one, because I can fill in both the 8 and the number. So then I just click that, and then it gives me the little guy first, so I would put 8, and then I click inside to get the 140. Okay, now if I had to raise that to a power of something, I believe you would hit this first, then you hit this, and then after, so if it was like 8, 140, and then go outside of the parentheses.
You gotta press the parentheses.
Yep. And then you'll have to find the exponent guy, which is right here. And then I would hit whatever exponent it was.
You know, whenever it's the exponent, I always just shift and then
That works too. So whatever, does everybody understand how to submit it online correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's 10 working on that.
So actually,
it feels like a